so that
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, so let's begin the session. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyate Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare यस्वानुभावम् अखिलसृष्टिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतिथितिशतां तमोन्दम् संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनम् उपयामि गुरुमुनीनाम् Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we'll continue with our the previous session, what we discussed about devotional service. So last week we had discussed about a lot of points regarding what the devotional service is, what bhakti means. So let's revise few of the points, or let's review what we discussed last week. So you have to understand in spiritual life, the most important part, uh, yes, it is prasadam. The most interesting part is the prasadam. But to digest the prasadam, otherwise only it becomes a food. So if for the body, if you want to digest the prasadam and get the mercy of the Lord, you have to do devotional service. So by doing devotional service, one can receive the mercy of the Lord. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, prasadam sarvadukkanam hani rasyopachavate pasannachitase syam. So prasad sarvadukkanam, for all our material distress, pain, sufferings, anxieties, the only one medicine is Lord's mercy. And Lord's mercy is when we put the Lord's mercy in the holes of our body. A lot of holes in our body, right? So ears, we have to put the holy name of the Lord. What all the holes which intakes in our body? Some holes of the body which puts out things. Some holes of the body which absorbs things. So when we put that thing which absorbs Krishna's things which absorbs in that hole, when we put, then we also become transcendental. We also become purified and in our hearts. Because Krishna says bhakti or devotional service, it is because in many places, whole of Bhagavad Gita, he speaks only about how to do devotional service. The whole chapter, 12th chapter is dedicated for devotional service, bhakti yoga. If you take whole Bhagavad Gita is 18 chapters. The first 6 chapters and the last 6 chapters are the capsule or a covering for the middle 6 chapters. The middle 6 chapters are very confidential, are very important, and it's a must. So where Krishna says a lot of verses in the middle 6 chapters, Krishna says, Naham Vedena tapasa na cha danena chejyaya. Krishna says that you can't understand me through the Vedas. Naham Vedena tapasa. You can't understand, not that I become a Trivedi, Triparti, or Dvivedi, or Ekavedi. I read all the scriptures and I can understand God. No, not by that. And tapasa, can you understand God by doing tapasya, doing a lot of austerities, lot of upavas, lot of sacrifice you do? No, not even that. Na danena, by doing a lot of dana, dharma, by doing a lot of charities, can you can understand God? Even not by that. So only by undivided devotional service that we can understand the Lord. So Krishna himself is saying, even the demigods in 11th chapter, especially when Krishna is explaining, is showing his Vishwarupa, he is saying that even demigods have not seen this form. No rishis, munis, no one has seen this form. But Those who want to see this form is only by devotional service, who can directly see me. This is a mysterious process. So bhakti is very mysterious process. It is not confined to our understanding, our tiny knowledge. No. So, and many places in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, 9th chapter, Bhaktya mam vijanati yavat chasmi tattvataha. So, Bhaktya mam. It's only by bhakti, seva, or we can understand the Lord. Otherwise, very difficult to understand Him. So, and Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti mashataha bhajantyam ananya manaso. Krishna bhajantyam ananya, again bhajati, bhajana or bhaja or bhakti has been explained there. So again in 9th chapter, next verse, further he say, Krishna says that Satatam kirtayanto ma mitantascha vrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya. So, in many, many places, and finally in 18th chapter, 64th verse, so Krishna is saying, what manmana bhavad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam e veshasatyam te pratijani priyosi me. So, who is very dear to me? Manmana bhavad bhakto, who is always thinking about me. Mad bhakto, devotees. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Madhyaji means to always worship him. Namaskuru, always offer obeisances to him, prayers to him. Vandanam. And Mam Evesha Satyam Te. Those, Krishna is saying that who understands Krishna as a supreme truth, Krishna has everything in their life. For them, Krishna is easily available. So please understand that today what we are discussing is for the Bhakti yogis. If you are not interested, not required. So why I'm saying this, we are all known as we all follow Bhakti Yoga. And the process of Bhakti Yoga, what we follow is what we do in Bhakti. We all follow in Bhakti Yoga, like Ashtanga Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Raja Yoga. So many yogas are there to connect ourselves with the God. But this process is very effective. It's very powerful and very fast. And this Bhakti Yoga, and so this in under this shelter of this Bhakti Yoga, we're all practicing, we're all trying to connect ourselves with the Lord. And what is the process of connection? The process of connection is called as a sadhana bhakti. So what we do is called a sadhana bhakti. So under the school of Bhakti Yoga, what we practice is sadhana bhakti. So we have to understand, Prabhupada says that we all, the part and parcel of Krishna, we all know this. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva, right? So we are all part and parcel of Krishna. So similarly, devotional service is already present within us. Just like you don't have to learn how to love your mother. You don't have to learn how to love your father. You don't have to learn how to love what you love. It is automatic, it is natural. So similarly, we have to understand it's already present, but it is in a dormant state. So we have to awaken it by hearing, by chanting, by knowing, isn't it? So see, by when you try to know things in your life, then you start loving it. So because we all forgotten, like last time also I gave an example of just like a small child doesn't want to go to school, but over a period of time when he graduates from the college and he wants to do his masters, so no one is pushing him. He becomes a chemist, he becomes a mathematician, he becomes a astronomer, whatever it is, so many things. So physicist, so many things. So we have to understand that was dormant within him, but over a period of time, it got unveiled. It got revealed. So we have to understand that we have to awaken our spiritual consciousness. So by doing Bhakti Yoga, we will awaken our spiritual consciousness. Even in India, if you take, there's whole of Bhakti movement. It started probably in the 14th century. Whole of Bhakti movement is only about this. Okay, Annamaya, Ramdas, Kanakadas, Apurandas, all Dasa Sahityas from Karnataka, Dasa Sahityas of Dasa literatures of Karnataka, Dasa literature of Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Andhra or Maharashtra or the central part of India, or even if you take the east part of India uh, or the west part of India, if you take any part of India, that bhakti movement which happened, and there was a renaissance, there was a revolution which happened in the 14th century, 15th century, things like that, where the whole process of bhakti yoga is to engage our senses in the service of the God. So you can see all those things. Either Ramdas is building a temple for the Lord, or Purnadasa is going to road, place to place, and trying to explain the Bhagavatam, trying to make people engage themselves in the service of the Lord, uh, and do chanting of the name of the Lord. And this all these things are it happened in the 14th century, 15th century, things like that. Probably, I would say that for us, this is the nearest way where we can get connected, because we can't do Ashtanga yoga, Dhyana yoga, Karma yoga, what is it, Gnana yoga, all those things. Because our minds in present times in the Kali Yuga, we are not prepared to do big austerities. We don't have that much memory or intelligence to read the scriptures and trying to assimilate and trying to interpret. So this best way is in 14th century, 15th century, which is following up is our acharyas, our it is not in one place it happened. You can just see the whole nature of this. The world was, spreading the love of God. From 14th century or 15th century, it all started. So it is very easy process for us, and where we can connect ourselves with God, and we can cleanse our heart from all the dirt, and we can cleanse our heart from the tendency to enjoy this matter and get entangled in this material world. So that has to be completely eradicated. That desire to enjoy the matter has to be completely removed, and that can happen only by devotional service. Krishna Chaitanya process say Cheto Darpanama Janam Bhavamaha Davang Nirvapanam, isn't it? So our mind is like a mirror. So if you want to see my form, just like if you go to a mirror, if you want to see your form, it should be clean. Even in your mirror, something is sticking, you will rub it, right? So you clean that mirror, and so that you can see yourself very beautifully, decorate yourself beautifully. So similarly, we have to understand this. When you go to the temple, when you see the Lord is like a mirror. So you should see yourself in that mirror. How beautiful I am, not the external body, internal body. My lust, anger, greed, envy, avarice, all this, the enemies which is there right in my heart, how I'm able to train it, how I'm able to purify it by devotional service, so that it becomes beautiful, becomes attractive to Krishna. So that is very important for us to know. If at all our mind has to be purified, if at all our senses has to be purified, we have to do devotional service. Just by chanting the name of the Lord. Yes, by chanting the name of the Lord, you will hear. By hearing, you will feel like doing. Just like Narada Muni. If you see the story of Narada Muni in Bhagavatam first canto, which comes in, where the great sages came to his home, and he and his mother who are there, and he was very young boy, when a small child, and he in the month of Chaturmasya, they stayed there, and his mother used to serve them by cooking and cleaning their house and all this as a menial service, because she was a maid servant and was working somewhere and getting some money and things like that. But she had so much of bhakti, so much of awe, reverence, and respect for the saints, and so she used to cook nicely and feed them. And this small boy, meanwhile, Narada Muni in his previous life used to always listen what these people are saying and what they're talking, what they're discussing. And when he over a period of time, they started hearing, and he wanted to honor the prasad. Then he took permission, my dear the sages, can I honor your prasadam? Can I eat your prasadam? Can I eat the remnants which are left? So he took permission. So he's doing some devotional activity now. So we have to understand, only when you start hearing, then the next activity is to do. It's not simply you do chanting, simply you do reading, and you don't do devotional service. That doesn't assimilate in our soul. That doesn't digest to our soul, and will not get nourished. Our soul will not nourished by this. So if at all, if you want to get soul nourishment, we are to devotional service, devotional towards service to the deities, devotional service to the devotees. And this is very much important in our life. And because in the material world, last time also I was discussing about that, how people have this social services and community services and so many services. People get together and do some selfless service. We last time also we very much stressed upon the selfless service. So when you do the selfless service to Krishna, we are not saying that you don't do service to the people who are not devotees. No, we have to serve everyone because Paramatma is there in everyone's heart with all love and compassion. We have been taught because we are seeing so many YouTube videos nowadays. I know someone is going and feeding an old woman on the road who doesn't has anything, or serving some beggars, or giving them a nice clothes or something. They're making videos. They're making very popular things like that. And I would see again is selfish. It is selfish the motive that they are doing, even though they are doing some service to the people. So that is a subtle maya. Initially, we feel that we are doing a selfless service. So over a period of time, we want to get some name and fame and prestige and position. uh, so treasures and pleasures, position and possessions, they say. So that is very, very difficult to leave. So people make all the reels, make all the YouTube videos and shorts, all those things, we do. And by doing so, they just publish in the social media, and they want to become very popular. And this is not the selfless service; it is a selfish service. So we have to understand, if at all, if our mind has to be purified, if at all senses has to be purified, we have to engage our senses in the service of Krishna. That is a real idea of ISKCON's activities, purpose of ISKCON's activities. Srila Prabhupada stressed upon that we have to engage our senses in service of Lord Krishna, and that's how we can be purified in our hearts. Because devotional service, see, what we are talking today is not, see, devotional service is, it is a very big science. It is a big branch of our connection with the Lord. Bhakti, so Bhakti Yoga. So devotional service can be roughly categorized into three categories. So what we are today discussing is about, or last time we discussed, or further we'll be discussing, is only about the devotional service in practice. Because there are so many devotional service in practice, devotional service in ecstasy, devotional service in pure love of God, Shuddha Bhakti, Uttama Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti. So all those things I was saying. So devotional service in ecstasy, devotional service in pure love of God, that we are in not position. Just like if I ask you to drive a BMW car, or Formula One race car, racing car. First of all, you should have a driving license. If you don't have driving license, you don't know how to drive, you don't have driving license and the permit and all the things. So how you would ever even dream of driving a racing car, right? Similarly, first and foremost, you should get training, and once when you get trained, and then you can drive a racing car, isn't it? So Bhakti, we have to understand, it is a devotional service. It's not simply crying in front of the Lord. Uh, uh, so many people think like that. Bhakti means what? We have to show. Bhakti means when you stand in front of the Lord, hairs should stand on the skin, and the tears should come out from the eyes, and we should become murcha. What do you call thing? So that kind of bhakti is what we are discussing here. The bhakti is what we are discussing is devotional service in practice. How you have to practice devotional service. Then you start loving that devotional service, and you become ecstatic in doing the devotional service. And then over a period of time, you develop a love for that. Just like last time also I was saying that, can you identify yourself away from your body? So that we can't do that. We are one with the body. I can't identify that I'm not this body. Very difficult. It's a big process, big science. So how I'm serving my body? No, the feed my body, take care of this body, clean the body, nice soap I take, nice clothes I put. So this one, you don't feel that you and body are different. Uh, so we have to understand like that one. So at any difficulty, at any cost, whatever it is, your stomach is paining or head is paining, just because your head is paining, you can't cut your head. Just because your leg is paining, you can't cut your leg. Because I love, I think this the synonymous with I and mine is this body. So we have to understand. We have to understand that Bhakti Yoga is meant only to develop our love for God. So ISKCON movement Our Prabhupada's purpose is to develop our loving relationship with God. And for that, the very effective process, the very fast and very easy method is by doing devotional service, engaging all your senses in those service. Rishikesh, Bhakti Uttamam. So we have to understand, we have to awaken our the dormant love for God, and this how we can able to understand the Lord and engage our senses in service of the God, so that over a period of time we become very pure in our heart. Last time we also discussed about the intent of devotion. I hope you some of you if you are aware about that, the intention of doing devotional service. The intention of devotional service is to please the Lord. It should be selfless. It should be unmotivated, unconditional, unmotivated, unconditional, and selfless service. That is what the service we are discussing about. Uh, so right now, none of us have love for God. Uh, we all are so selfish, and just imagine, in my house my husband passed away, my wife passed away, my children passed away by because of some accident, I lost my work, I lost my job, I lost my money and everything. Who wants to listen this? Even enough of us must listen this all negative things. But if something happens in our life, then what we say, hey, there is no God, there is no divine being, and then you start cursing the God and things like that. So this kind, because we generally do this. Why God was so cruel to me? Why he was so partial to me? So this what in this kind of mood we are in, because we are always selfish. What is there in for me? So always we are trying to understand God in terms of what I can get from even God, because because of our parents, our teachers, our school, our society has taught us God means He gives you everything. He is a person who is simply giver. But you have to understand what qualification you should have to receive that. Also, you should also understand. Yes, He is a giver, but you should also get that qualification to receive what is He giving. So this bhakti yoga is this devotional service is a powerful process which can remove all our karmic reactions from millions of our lives. That power this devotional service has. Just like Gajendra is offering his flower to offer flower to Lord Narayana. Lord Narayana came, right? In Bhagavatam it comes in, or Kubja in Dwaraka. She offered a chandana to Krishna, isn't it? So we have to understand that the simple process is very important in our life. When we all do small such services to the Lord, Lord very much appreciates our service to Him. So we have to understand, because otherwise everywhere everything in our life is now only motivated and selfish. And even someone I was talking yesterday, they had Prabhuji, my boss is not there, so I can freak out. So this is a general attitude, is of a jiva. So let me exploit him. If he's not there, let me exploit him. So no one wants to be a servant. So the boss is thinking, let me exploit this man and try to make nice service from him, so that his company will grow. And this person is thinking that I'm doing so much of service. This boss is not there, is out of station, so let me relax. So who's exploiting whom? So whether boss is exploiting the employee, or employee is exploiting the boss. So we have to understand that in this material world, everyone wants to exploit someone else. So it may be, I may be very cruel in saying that even in the family, if just to say you have a son and he is not going for a job, how long you can feed him? How long you can whole life you may feed him, but with a pain in your heart, my son is useless. He is not doing anything. He is not able to earn his own. How long we will be feeding him? So even the mothers and fathers' love is to a almost to a great extent. But if you see your relatives, my sister or my brother or my relatives, They would not feed you whole life. Uh, so we have to understand that when no one wants to serve anyone like that, everyone are serving with some motive in their life. So we have to be a servant of God by and also be selfless. Selfless service you have to serve. You have to do. So God becomes when you do in such way, then He becomes completely sold out. Just like Yashoda was Krishna was sold out to Yashoda, and he was able to tie him. She was able to tie him. Or Arjuna, Krishna becomes sold out to Arjuna. When Krishna, that is also important. When Krishna is with the determination, with one pointed attention, ye tasmad ekena manasa. So when before Mahabharata war, Arjuna and Duryodhana both had gone to Krishna to meet Krishna and to get their Narayani Sena, isn't it? But what first Krishna asked Arjuna, we know the story. When Krishna asked Arjuna, what you want, he would have immediately said, I want your Narayana Sena, which was unconquerable, which was undefeatable. It was so powerful, Narayana Sena. They're all expansions of Narayana himself. But what did Arjuna select? Arjuna said to Krishna, Krishna, I don't want anyone. I don't want anything from you. I want only you. So that kind of the mentality we have to develop. Otherwise, just because of numbers, just like Duryodhana took, oh, so much numbers, they're so much powerful. So anything in this material world is all secondary. It's all going to fail. It's all temporary. The only one thing which is there with us is the Paramatma who is there in us, and he's always trying to love us, and we have to just look at him. And that can be awakened only by devotional service, doing book distribution, doing menial service in the temple, pot washing. We should do pot. Actually, in the small temples, in the big temples, very difficult to get in because there will be employees. But still, I've seen one man every day he comes to our temple, and the night he wears specs. I don't know what is his name. Every day he will be in the main temple along with the housekeeping. A lot of housekeeping. He serves along with the housekeeping. He does brooming, he does mopping. Uh, but centrally, I've seen some people after Nasimha Aarti, Nasimha Homa, they'll all be geared up. They'll all be inspired to broom and mop. No, so that is good. But I would say when no one is seeing in the night, in the hall, in the main temple hall, when you want to serve and along with the housekeeping, no one is noticing you. And you are mopping, you are cleaning, you're removing all the dirt. Because please understand, the more you remove the dirt from the temple, the more the dirt you'll be removing from your heart. That's what Chaitanya Prabhu showed in his pastime of cleaning the Gundisha temple. So he was trying to hunt for the dirt, hunt for the dust, and try to gather all those things. And there was a big competition. Who would gather more dirt and dust? There's a big competition. In this material world, there will be competition who will be accumulating a lot of money, name, fame, prestige, and things like that. But Chaitanya Prabhu is showing that we have to cleanse our heart. That is the purpose of human life. And that we can do only by doing devotional service. So when you try to keep your temple clean, your surroundings clean, and think that this is meant for the pleasure of the Lord, and that would definitely purify our hearts. That's how in Prabhupada's time also, when you see when Prabhupada was there in this West, and people used to serve Prabhupada and help him in helping in typing, help him in preaching, and washing his clothes and cooking for him. And they within the 10 years they were something else. They were this there's white people who didn't have would know what is Krishna, what is Radha, what is the devotional service, what is Uttama Bhakti, what is Shuddha Bhakti. They never know anything about it. They were sitting on the Vyasasana in next 2-3 years, and they're speaking about the Uttama Bhakti, Shraddha, Shuddha Bhakti, and all those things. Just imagine, it is just like we trying to understand the Greek philosophy. It's just like we trying to understand the Egyptian philosophy. We can't understand what Greek philosophy, Egyptian philosophy is, or something like that. So it was so difficult that these Westerners immediately took up this process and chanting, and they started wearing dhoti. The women started wearing saris and bindis, and braiding their hairs, leaving shika, eating only prasadam, and doing ekadasis, not eating anywhere outside, and having only good association, no newspaper, no TV, no movies, no Coca-Cola, no drinks, everything they gave up. It's only because of devotional service. Please understand. So they developed the their desire to hear. When they started hearing, the heart becomes cleansed. Their next activity was only doing for the Lord, devotional service activity. Because the nature of the soul is to be always active. Even in your dreams, you will be active. You will be doing some work. So similarly, when you go to spiritual world, then you will be having a lot of activities. So unless until you are not active in this material world, it's not a passive bhakti yoga. Krishna consciousness is not a passive yoga. It's a very active yoga that you have to engage on all our senses in service of the Lord. You have to absorb our sense, absorb our thoughts in the service of the Lord, and that is easy process. That is very easy process. So we have to understand that Krishna himself in his lifetime, he showed that to be a servant is topmost yoga. Yes, and when Krishna is serving Arjuna, it's not that he only serving Arjuna. Krishna is serving Arjuna because Arjuna is Yudhishthira, is serving Yudhishthira, isn't it? So dasanu dasanu das. So spiritual life, if you want to understand, we got to really understand you are the servant of God, then you have to serve them menially, obediently. Obedience is also very much important in our life. Generally, what happens over a period of time, we become very complacent. Our ego walls become very stronger and thicker. As and when you're doing devotional service, you feel that, Prabhu, I know better than that devotee who has just joined. There may be some brahmachari who had have joined just 2 years or 1 year like that. And you all maybe say 5 years old in Krishna conscious, 5 or 10 years old in Krishna conscious. You know better than you may feel that you know better. Then you will say, in mind you would think that, oh, that brahmachari is young. I know him, and we call him by name. Oh, Sulochana, where are you? Oh, Vedavyas, Prabhu, no Prabhu and all. Vedavyas, where are you? So you have to understand that if at all, if you want to become humble and submissive, and we have to do devotional service. The more the devotional service you do, then you feel yourself humbled, you feel yourself grounded, and that's what Krishna likes it. And Krishna likes this attitude. This attitude of service is what Krishna likes. It's not that you are able to achieve something big, but Krishna is very interested in what you can, how you'll achieve that. Not how much, what you achieve, but Lord is interested in how you achieve it in cooperation with the devotees. So we have to understand that we have to come out from this understanding that bhakti or the devotional service is, when we get time we have to do. No. Devotional service, just like when you do exercise for your body, every day you have to exercise, right? You can't every day simply eat and sleep. So we have to do some exercise in our life. So you have to give exercise to your mind, then you have to do devotional service. And in cooperation, in association of devotees. So very much important. The Krishna is not looking. Krishna is also saying in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. It is simple service. Just like Rukmini gave, just by Krishna was sold out to Rukmini just by giving a tulsi leaf. You know the story, right? And like Gajendra offering up flowers, as I said before. Or even in Krishna's pastime, there is a fruit vendor. The fruit vendor, when that lady came to in the front of Krishna's house, Krishna wanted to eat some fruit, some mangoes. But that fruit vendor, when she got down the booty, the basket which was there on her top, on when she was carrying on her head, she got down and seeing the beauty of Krishna, she was just giving all the fruits to him, and he just took the fruits and went inside. And in exchange of that, he brought some grains which was there in his house, and that grains also, while he was bringing with the small hands, all the grains was spilling around. It is all falling apart from his hand. And somehow he gave some 2 3 grains was there, and she took the grains so nice and just put in the booty, and the whole booty, the basket was turned into the full of jewels and gold. We know the story in Bhagavatam. So this story may be little We may see, oh, this is all created story and all those things. But just understand why our authorities, why our elders, why our the rishis, munis, and great saints wants us to learn from this story. Please understand that devotional service, that she want to do devotional service to Krishna, and Krishna is also reciprocating by giving ye tama parvadyante tam satyam bhajamiham. So please understand this. But if you keep in mind that Krishna will give me something, let me do devotional service, that will not work. Oh, Krishna will give me something. Oh, he's the best person. And and better than that, you worship Shiva. He is called as Ashudosha. Immediately gets pleased. Krishna will not get pleased immediately. Krishna will test you so much. Uh, but Shiva will immediately give you all those things. That's why all the demons, all the Rakshasas, they wanted immediate benefit right now, instantly. So they were all worshipping Shiva. And immediately everyone, most of this, all of them are Shiva worshippers, are Durga worshippers, they are Ashutosha. They immediately get pleased and they bless their devotees. But whereas on the case of Krishna, he will test you very badly. Like Kankadasa, Apurvadasa, Annama, they were beaten black and blue. Uh, but once when they become so much devoted to Krishna and Krishna started loving them, Krishna never left them at any point of time. Just like Pandavas. At any point of them, every step of Pandavas' life, Krishna was always with them, serving them, saving them. So we have to understand, even just like Sudama also, how with a small, what is that, grains, Krishna was so much pleased with the chipped rice. Sudama was so much pleased by, so Krishna was so much pleased by Sudama's that old, rotten chipped rice, what Sudama brought. We know the story. And we also know the story. When Krishna came to Dwarka, all the Dwarkavasis were giving gifts to Krishna. So everyone wants to do devotions. That's the whole Hindu process. So if you see anywhere temple in India, so there is a flowers market outside. There is a fruit vendors market. There is a coconut there. There is some vada mala. There will be some pan patta mala. So all those things. What is you spend your money, in pleasing what Lord wants. Please him through Pashpam Putram Pashpam Param Toyam. That is the least which you can do. The best what you can do is with the right kind of attitude, we engage all our senses in the service of Lord in cooperation with the devotees. That is the best service. Because Krishna is not seeing, again, I want to stress on this, Krishna is not seeing the content of your gift. Krishna is seeing only the intent of your gift, intention of your devotion. Again and again, time and again, please, I am stressing on this point. Because over a period of time, we may fail to know the intent. We only see the content. And started comparing with all our devotees and all these things, temple, and started make all kinds of offenses. And we get out of the whole association and group. Because that's why the system will eject. Unless until you don't have proper frame of mind, proper intention for doing service. So please understand this devotional service is the only one where we can purify our hearts very quickly, and it's a swift process and quick process. And something came to my mind. Even if you see the Madhavendra Puri story, even if you see the Madhavendra Puri was Chaitanya Prabhu's great grand guru. His grand guru, sorry. So Chaitanya Prabhu's guru was Ishwar Puri. Ishwar Puri's guru was Madhavendra Puri. So Madhavendra Puri, when you see the pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which comes in the Madhya Leela, when Chaitanya Prabhu himself is explaining about how my grand guru was so much engaged in devotional service. When Madhavendra Puri was in Vrindavan, so he was doing an intense devotional service. He used to chant, he used to preach people, things like that. At one point of time, and the Lord came in his dream and he said, I'm being buried here. Because during the Mughal rule and during the Buddhist period, Buddhist era, lot of the deities in Vrindavan was hidden in the water, hidden in the mud, hidden in the some bushes, things like that, to save. So during Ashoka period, before that, and all the Buddhist rules were there. So that deity which was carved by Vajranabha himself. Vajranabha was Krishna's grandson. And that Gopinath, Radha Govinda, Radha Gokulananda, all these deities are old deities. So one of the deity was that Shinaji, the Gopalji, which was there in the foothills of Govardhan. And that Lord Krishna came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri, and he said that I have been hidden here for many, many millennia, many, many centuries. So please get me out of this and give me a bath and please install me. So Madhavendra Puri, he lifted that, found, with the help of all the villagers, he found the deity there. And with that deity, they have lifted and they were put on the, now also if you see, when there's one small temple on the top of Govardhan. We don't step on the Govardhan because Chaitanya Prabhu never went there. And because every stone of Govardhan is Lord himself, like Govardhan Shila, like Salagram Shila. We can't step on it. So his grand guru he had installed because as Krishna has, himself had instructed him, and that every day they used to do Annakuta festival. Every day they used to feed the Lord, and for almost 2 years in Chaitanya Charitamrita, almost 2 years, the Lord was given every day Chappan Bhog. 54 offerings Krishna was offered every day. So Madhavendra Puri was so much engaged in making all the villagers cook their food in their home and bring it and offer to Krishna, and afterwards distribute among everyone. And during that process, once again the Lord came in his dream and he said, now it is very hot, I want some chandan. So then again, Madhavendra Puri, he's taking so much of hardships, so much of struggles, so much of troubles. He's taking, and he went to the Ramuna furthermore to get the Chandan for the Gopal deity. Making Chandan is also, you have to gasna padta hai. You have to put energy and you have to do. So he went there and got the Chandan and was applying. So all those things, that you have to understand that they had so much love for Krishna. Why they have to take so much trouble for him? So they are ready to take trouble for him, all the trouble for him. So we have to understand, we have to understand why Krishna's pastime is not manifesting in our heart. Why it is not, I'm able to relish the Lord's pastime so much. We have to understand, we have also should have the right kind of attitude to experience the Lord's pastime, just like this Madhavendra Puri. You have to take challenges in your life. You have to take struggles in your life. Then only you will be able to understand and release the Lord's pastimes. So we have to eagerly want to serve Krishna, and if that eagerness has to come, laulyam ekam maulyam. So that eagerness you want to purchase it, it is very difficult to get. You can't purchase the laulyam like that, but the only the price for this, the price tag for this, the laulyam, the eagerness to serve Krishna is do devotional service again and again, again, again. Then we will be able to relish the spiritual life, and that is a real spiritual progress. The spiritual process, so spiritual progress can happen by two ways. One by chanting in the name of the Lord, and one having a proper devotional attitude. Nama japa and seva bhava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. So Nama japa we are all doing, but seva bhava is also very much important. I'm not stressing upon that you all come to ISKCON Bangalore and do devotional service. I'm not so much, in one way saying that you all have to serve here. So let's be open. Let's try to understand this whole process what Srila Prabhupada is giving us. We have to do devotional service. We have to do chanting of the name of the Lord. And whichever platform you get, you should be eager to get into it and you have to do it. And that's how we can purify our hearts. No, Prabhuji bol raha hai, ISKCON ka, isliye devotional service karna hai. They want volunteers. Are Baba, without you also work will happen. Without us also, the things will go on. Krishna knows, he is very intelligent. He knows how to make the things happen. But Krishna is giving, let's like Arjuna, Krishna is giving Arjuna a chance to the win over. Otherwise, in Krishna's eyes, everyone is Nishamya. That the word is there in Bhagavatam. Bhishma is saying that that by the glance of Krishna, all the people's Ayusha has been all taken over. So what is Arjuna doing there? So that story of Barbarika also, if you know, that Barbarika was a person who was seeing all the Mahabharata war. That was the blessings by Krishna. On the top of a hill, he was seeing all the war. And finally, when Yudhishthira, they goes and says, who was the real person who was behind this whole Mahabharata? Then he says it was Krishna. Krishna's energy was acting in all of you. That's why you were able to win. So unless and until you don't have ruchi for the holy name, we can't have ruchi for the doing devotional service. So how to get ruchi for the holy name? You have to try yourself. You have to work upon yourself. If you are getting sleep while chanting the name of the Lord, you stand and chant. You walk and chant. Somehow try to hear the holy name. Try to hear the holy name. Be attentive. Be conscious. Heartfully, soulfully, you try to really hear that. You can try to no, paste your the emotions while chanting the name of the Lord. When you try to paste your loving emotions and chanting the name of the Lord, and Nama Prabhu will be so pleased, and so that he cleanses our heart, and so that we can do selfless service. And this how we can purify our senses. So please understand, this process is very powerful, and the only way we can the advance in our spiritual life, progress in spiritual life, is by doing devotional service and in unity, in association or cooperation with the devotees. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also serving the Gondicha Marjana, he is doing service with along with all other devotees. Not that let me build my own temple, let me do my own devotional service. Or Prabhuji, my home is there. In my home, I have deities. I'm doing devotional service. Even if you're doing devotional service at your home, I would feel if more of piety, you may get more of piety in your life. Because as a grasta, you have to do that is a dharma of grasta to do devotion, serve the master of the house is the Lord Krishna. But when you do devotional service in association of devotees, in cooperation with the devotees, lot of churning will happen within our hearts. All of our the shortcomings, all of our lacunas, all of our defects, which is around here, that will be manifested. It'll all blow up. Ego, anger, envy, illusion, and all the heartburns, everything will come out. Then you'll get to know where I'm lacking in, how much heartburns I have, how much lust I have, how much ego I have. Then you're able to catch its neck and able to purify it. So please understand this devotional service is most potent process, and the only way we can do is by engaging ourselves, engaging our senses in service of Krishna. So before summing up today's session, till what time we are done with the things? Till 8:30 or it was 8 o'clock?
Prabhu, this was till 8:15, bro.
Oh, okay.
8:15.
So, okay, sorry, I have taken exceeded more than 8:15. So,
Prabhu,
I
now
think so.
we can have
Every Saturday
question.
every Saturday we'll be having the session. So, I would like to sum up today's session um, with a few words and end the session. If you have any questions, you can ask after that. So you have to keep in mind that selfless devotional service is what we have to do. And this is the only act where Krishna can be pleased in. And the proper frame of mind, proper mental attitude one should have, so that Krishna gets pleased. A sense of dasyam, a sense of servant mood is what we have to get to know. And also we summarized upon while doing devotional service, you should you should express your love for the service, so that becomes complete and becomes perfect, not with some motive motivated or some purpose, some material benefit you're trying to do devotional. So it's out of love expression. And finally, we also discussed about the intention which we should have, that this all matters in our quality and sincerity in doing devotional service. And this all can be achieved by Navavidha Bhakti. Krishna also says, Bhagavatam also says, Navavidha Bhakti, Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Padasanam, Archanam, Mandaram, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, Iti Pushpatra. So, but so these are we also know all this process, everything has been put in place. Only we have to simply follow. We don't have to experience, we have to explore few things, we have to find a new way, a new yoga, nothing, everything has been given, everything, all the syllabus, all the text is there. Simply following that will definitely progress in our life, and we'll be doing a great service to our ancestors, our acharyas, and our guru. And this all will be very happily situated in this material world and after that also. So anyone has any questions? One or two you can take, else we'll end the session. Okay.
Hare Krishna,
So
Prabhu. If anybody wants to ask questions, they can ask now, Prabhu.
okay. So all of you, thanks for joining. So how many are joined? How many of them are there? Okay. So just so most of you are there here. Wonderful. So I would want to give you a darshan of Radha Damodar here in Boston Temple. So after that, we'll end the session. So just be online, and you'll be having a wonderful darshan of Radha Damodar and Srila Prabhupada, and it'll all be good. I request you to say Radha Damodar ki jai when we go in front of the Lord Radha Damodar. I hope you all heard me. Once again, I want to repeat it. So when I take you to Radha Damodar DT, I request all of you to unmute yourself and chant Jai Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. So, and that's how we'll be offering your prayers to Lord Radha Damodar, and his blessings would come through this online. Okay.
Oh, Shri Radha Damodar ki jai.
जय जय राधा
जय
राधा
जय
जय श्री राधा राधा दामोदर की जय
जय राधा दामोदर की
जय श्री राधा दामोदर
So
राधा
beautiful
दामोदर
deities.
की जय
So here
जय
Gaunitai deities are there. Gaunitai deities. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
राम हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
And
कृष्ण
this
प्रभु जी थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
जय श्री प्रभुपाद की
So see you all. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. And next week again we'll meet. And thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
प्रभु जी
थैंक यू
थैंक
प्रभु
यू
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू सो
हरे
मच प्रभु जी
Krishna, Prabhu.